This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, verse 1. Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is his son who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Brakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who ruled well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And yes, the reason why I brought out the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, verse 1 through 2, is that I'm going to talk about the ongoing contention in the Caribbean between America and Venezuela. All right, as you see in front of your screen, the U.S., Babylon the Great, is rehearsing airstrikes against Venezuela. All right, and this is something I've been talking about regarding America's ambition to get the resources in Venezuela. You know, they want the oil, they want the tantalum, which is the blue gold, all right, which is going to cause a lot of death, okay, because a lot of people are comparing this to the new Vietnam, all right, the new Vietnam. In fact, let me get the AI overview. The phrase Venezuela New Vietnam refers to a frequent warning and point of discussion in political and media commentary that a potential direct U.S. military intervention in Venezuela could become a protracted, unwinnable conflict similar to Vietnam. Exactly. Okay? And we're talking about guerrilla warfare. All right? The U.S. military for the last 20 years has done nothing but desert warfare. All right, they're not equipped. They haven't trained for guerrilla warfare in this nature, especially against Jake. All right, these are Israelites, by the way, that they're gonna have to fight. All right, so this is a whole new ball game. All right, for lack of words, terminology, phrases. All right, so yeah, there. A lot of military men will perish, okay? And America is going to even be seen as being even more weak and more fragile, okay? Because here it is, all right? They're still in the Middle East, okay? They're still supporting Ukraine, okay? And now they're trying to start another a new conflict, okay, in Venezuela. So this devil is stretching itself out thin, okay, and it was prophesied, okay. In fact, when you go to the book of Obadiah in verse 6, it says, "How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up?" Right, and we hear the prophets of Great Millstone through the Spirit and power Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai. We're revealing, okay, this devil, all right, going down, all right. He's being exposed as the devil. He's being exposed as the biblical Edomites, and he's also being exposed as falling as a nation, okay. And once America falls, that's it. All right. 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Right. Okay. Because again, Venezuela has a lot of dealings with various nations. Okay. And if it's not a matter of if, but when Donald Trump and the American military decide to attack Venezuela head on, All right, a lot of America's allies are going to be against America. Okay, and don't be surprised if they start rapidly dropping the American dollar. Okay, so even America's own allies are going to be against America because this is, I mean, it's evident what America is doing. Okay, America wants the resources. It wants the control over Venezuela's, okay, what's it called, livelihood, because oil, that's their biggest source of revenue, okay, as well as blue gold, okay, aka tantalum, all right, which is needed for all these AI technology, biomedical devices, computer, warplanes, you name it. Okay, so a lot of these nations, okay, they're gonna be like, you know what, enough is enough. All right, and they're gonna turn on America. All right, you can clearly see it. In fact, I asked who who are who are the countries that are against the war in Venezuela. Yep. Countries against war in Venezuela are generally the ones that oppose military intervention and support diplomatic solutions, including countries like Brazil, Mexico, and Colombia. Right. And America has a lot of dealings with Brazil, Mexico, Colombia. Okay. All right. Doesn't American automobile companies, right? Their manufacturers, all right, to build the cars are in Mexico. All right. Aren't there a whole bunch of what's it called? Uh, uh, business relationship between America and Brazil regarding food. Okay, yeah. Also, Colombia, the CIA and Colombia are always okay working together, but this is going to bring a major okay problem. All right, and I think the Colombian president, he was sanctioned because he spoke out against what Trump is doing, and the American administration regarding those boats, those so-called drug cartel boats. Okay, these nations, along with many other nations, okay, globally have emphasized the need for peace and regional cooperation, not military conflict. Russia and China, Cuba, Iran, you already know they work with Venezuela. All right, Syria. Oh, Turkey. Here's another ally. Isn't that a NATO member? Turkey. Okay, Turkey is a NATO ally. See? So, hey, the scripture's on point when it says in verse 7, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding him right. Okay, and eventually they're gonna say we're not gonna need greenbacks anymore. Okay, so and you're gonna see the American economy get even 10 times worse. All right, and that's why they're bringing in crypto. All right, to try to what's it called? Control the damage. But the damage is already done. All right. So there you go. Um, all your allies will turn against you. They will help to chase you from your land. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. Right. And that's what's really happening. All these nations are plotting against America. They see the treachery that America is doing. Your trusted friends will set traps for you, and you won't even know it about it. Right. Guarantee. All right. Venezuela is going to be supported by America by certain of America's allies, okay? Especially when it comes in the financial realm, okay? Because, hey, who profits in war? The bankers. So, yeah, this comparison has been raised by several parties in recent years. Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro has repeatedly warned that if the U.S. were to invade the American forces, we'll have a Vietnam worse than they can imagine, urging the American public to oppose such a move. Right. Okay? Look how big Venezuela is. Okay? And this is all jungle. All right? This is all jungle. And don't forget, foreign fighters. Those that can't stand America, from Guyana, Suriname, all right, Brazil, Colombia, okay, Ecuador, Peru. You got rebels that do not like America, and they're willing to help assist Venezuela, okay? So the fact that America thinks that it can go in there, all right, is pride. But the scriptures talk about his pride have deceived him. Let me get that. Back up to Obadiah. You know what? Let me get another scripture about his pride. Okay. Yeah, let's go to Jeremiah 49, because this is the precept against the Edomites. All right, which you wacky tacky plantation Christians don't ever want to talk about. Jeremiah 49:15. For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men. Right, when you go into the word small, it means in the Hebrew word quatan, which means insignificant, unimportant. Right, you Edomites are insignificant and unimportant. Okay. For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen, despised among men. You see that? Despised among men. So the whole world can't stand you. That's why Obadiah is so fitting. Even your allies can't despise you. Allies despise you, man. Your own allies, man. All right, and this even Europe. What is? Well, let's look at this. What about Europe? What does Europe? Wait. How does Europe feel about Venezuela? Europe's position on Venezuela crisis is complex and not unified, but generally involves a call for a peaceful, democratic solution, support for humanitarian aid, and the imposition of targeted sanctions. European countries have expressed concerns over increased U.S. military pressure on Venezuela and have criticized recent elections for a lack of transparency. The European Union itself adopted sanctions, including an arms embargo and asset freeze on individuals, to encourage democratic solutions and political stability. Right. So even Europe doesn't want a direct conflict. Okay. But here it is. European nations have voiced concern over increased U.S. military pressure and actions in the region, viewing them as potentially raising tensions and violating international law. There you go. There you go. Okay. So you have, and remember, the European Union, they're divided on a lot of issues. Okay. That goes into the prophecy of Daniel, chapter 2, where they won't cleave to one another. Okay. Let me get that. I don't want to butcher it. Daniel chapter 2. Yep. Daniel chapter 2, verse 40. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all things shall it break in pieces and bruise. 41. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided. You see that? Divided. Okay? They're divided financially, politically. Okay? All right? Even when it comes to foreign policy, they're divided. But there shall be in it the strength of iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. Right? Because they're all going to be in agreement when it comes to destroying America, Babylon the Great. 42. And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. Again, when you go into the economy wise, all right, with the European Union, some are strong, like Germany has a strong economy, all right, but Greece has a weak economy. Greece is freaking in the red. They're through. That country's cooked. 4:3. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. Right. Okay, and that's why, again, when you look at Europe, all right, they're constantly not able to come to an agreement. There's always issues. There's always protesting. There's always rioting. Okay. All right. You got countries that want to defect from the European Union. Okay. You got countries that don't want their economy dragged with a country that has a weak economy. Okay, so yeah, so that that goes to show you these are the Edomites. All right, so lesson within lessons. Mm-hmm. And that's why they're gonna be like, you know what? All right, the hell with America. That's the only agreement they're gonna come to, because they're gonna realize America is the problem, causing all the problems in their life. Um, so back to Jeremiah. So yeah, get ready for a draft too. Okay, get ready for a draft. Big draft is coming. If they go to war with if they, it looks like it's not a matter of if, but when they go to war with Venezuela, that would be okay. The a draft coming in. All right, that'll be a draft straight up. Jeremiah 49:15. For lo, I made thee small among the heathen and despised among men. 16. Thy terribleness have deceived thee, and the pride of the heart have thou thy terribleness have deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart. Right, this is the pride of Esau. All right, because he thinks, all right, that you must that he's in control. You know that he's running shit, and you have to obey, and that's where that's going to be to his demise. O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, Caucasian, that holdeth the height of the hill. Mm-hmm. Hill represents government. Esau, Edom's government. All right, is at the height of the hill. All right. Let me look up the word height. Just curious. Ma ra Marawam. Marawam. Okay, which means what? Height, elevated place, proudly. Yup, of nobles. There you go. Okay, and the nobles use America to push their influence on the world. Okay, Rawam, exalted. Yup, Ma Rawam. There you go. And just to get some Hebrew out of this, just to show you. All right. This is a Ma. This is a Ra. This is a Wa. And this is a Ma again. The Ma's at the end. Okay. So Ma Rawam. You see that? Ma Rawam. So there you go. So yeah. Let's finish this off. I didn't want to make this too long. Yeah, this is gonna backfire. Okay, get ready for a draft. The Lord is about to bring this man into his own snare. Okay, what's it called? There's a scripture that talks about he's pushing up a boulder and it's gonna fall on top of him. What is it? A boulder? What is it? Bible speaks of pushing a boulder uphill, right? Should be in Proverbs. Yep. Proverbs 26 verse 27. That's it. Proverbs 26 verse 27. Whoso diggeth the pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth the stone, it will return upon him. Right, and this is why this is all going to backfire on Esau, Edom, on the American military. If you set a trap for others, you will get caught in it yourself. If you roll a boulder down on others, it will crush you instead. You see that? So hey, this is going to be bad for America, man. Okay, and it's not a matter of if, but when they invade Venezuela. It's going to be a hurt locker. It's going to be a meat grinder. Okay, while they're fighting. Okay, what's it called? In the Middle East as well. Okay, the Iranians. Okay, which that's coming real soon. All right, hey, this is a world war. That's what world war is. Okay, and again, hold up. Let's not forget Revelation chapter 6, verse 7. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, come and see. Verse 8. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse. And his name that sat on him was Death, and hell, meaning the pit, followed with him. All right, a lot of people about to be put into the grave. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth. What is the fourth part of the earth? Hold up. What is the fourth part of the earth? What is the fourth part of the earth? The fourth part of the earth, when referring to the inner layers, that's not what I want. Did they change this up? Oh. The fourth part of the world. That's it. That's it. The fourth part of the world, or the fourth part of the earth, okay, is speaking about what? The new world. Okay? So yeah, they changed it up. It used to be when you typed in fourth part of the world, or the fourth part of the earth, all right, it meant the Western Hemisphere. Yep, there you go. The fourth part of the earth typically refers to America. See, now you got to type these devils. The fourth part of the earth typically refers to America, which was historically called the New World by Europeans, Edomites, after discovery. No, this land was already discovered. This land was already occupied. See? And exploration. No, it was already explored. You just went in there and stole it. Okay? That's what you did. The conflict rose in the 16th century Europe, Edomites, where cartographers and scholars began dividing the world into 4 continents: Europe, Asia, Africa, and America. Okay? The West, designated as the newly recognized fourth part of the world. There you go. So, yeah, it's about to be a meat grinder. And I'll finish it off this. 2nd Esdras chapter 16, verse 3. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? That's right, because it's the will of the Lord. All right, so be well, your children. Draft is coming. Okay? And again, it's not looking like a matter of if, but when Donald Trump, okay, gets the green light from the real rulers of America, okay, and say, hey, go start a war in Venezuela, this is going to get real spicy. And it's going to, and get ready. A draft is coming. It is coming. Okay, again, World War III. World War. World. The whole globe is in a conflict, okay? So you're going to have military troops being sent to the Middle East, being sent, all right? Okay, over here, all right? And don't act like this hasn't happened before. Remember, Vietnam, okay? So there you go. So Lord willing, let's edify, and I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who ruled well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And citation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the 4 corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep it door, keep the faith, keep pushing, keep fighting, keep studying. Pray without ceasing. Pray for each other. Pray for the apostles, elders. We're almost out of here. For the few that are watching, keep studying. For the few that are watching, keep studying when you prepare to cover Shalom.